Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 561. I had something very strange happen this morning. I was in the shower. And the power went out. My bathroom's really dark when the lights go out. I don't know why. It's raining outside, but it went out for maybe 4 seconds and then came back on. So now I've got to. Fortunately, in today's age, we don't have too many like clocks to reset. Our alarm clocks are on our phones. Wow, that's a tough sentence to speak. So I've got to change the microwave and the stove, and I think that's it. But I don't remember the power ever going out in this house. So very strange, very strange. Jenny's with us. What's up, Jenny? Rich, unfortunately, is joining us live because he's got to go back to the dentist. I do not envy that task this morning. Herman, good morning. Jenny says breakers should learn from Bowman buy cases of blasters to break versus one hobby box. People would buy in more. It's funny that you say that because I was talking to my favorite breaker who set up at the show on Saturday, and he said, I said, I love the Cubs checklist and I'm going to try to get into a break. And he goes, you're going to get sticker shock. And because, the Cubs are always one of the higher tier teams in breaks. And then when it's like $6,000 for a case of Bowman, yikes. So maybe I won't buy into a break. We'll see. I haven't seen the pricing. So we shall see. But I crushed the odds on Bowman blasters, and I've not always, since 2018, I've been preaching buy Bowman retail. Even in 2018 and 2019, there was still good return on buying retail Bowman, and then these last 2 years, it's like it's a no-brainer to buy Bowman retail over hobby. And so when Walmart.com, and I'm a sucker for Bowman anyway, even at $32 a blaster, I got my shipment in last week. I've got some break videos on my YouTube channel, so check those out. Hit subscribe so you can see more content. By the way, hit the like button too. So I got 24 boxes from Walmart.com, and they were delivered last Thursday. And I look at the odds on the blaster box and I'm like, oof, maybe $32 isn't such a good deal on blaster boxes. But it was for me a very, very good deal. And then when Herman was in town on Friday after we had lunch, we stopped at Walmart. They had Bowman on the shelf. And I bought 3 more blasters, bringing my total retail haul to 27 blasters. So I spent over $900 on Bowman retail, and I'd buy more if I saw some on the shelf. I had to run to both Target and Walmart on Sunday afternoon for some painter's tape. And Target was out of stock of painter's tape, and they were out of stock on Bowman. And then I went to the small Walmart that's closest to my house, and they keep like all the sports cards behind the service desk, which is they've been doing some weird things at that store. But their entire card section now consists solely of Magic and Pokemon on the shelf, but they still do carry sports cards. You just have to go to the customer service desk to get those. And I think you can only buy one box or something. It's really weird because they had never done the other stores had limited you, but that store was like a free for all. And then the other stores stopped the limits, and this store is now limit 1. I don't know. Let's see. So before I move on, Jenny says, Shaw Cards, what's up? Zach, good morning. Low Roller says, you bought more Goodwill bin for sports cards. Nope. Not since the last one. Victor, what's up? Good morning. I watched a guy yell at a Walmart employee because it was 1 per UPC. I bought 10 of these at the other Walmart yesterday. Come on, man. She can't control it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the people like that have to enforce it aren't making the rules. So yeah, it sucks if you want to buy more than, I think one a limit one sucks. Like, that's just not, because I don't want to rip just one blaster, but I understand I don't have to rip 27 either. I think there's a happy medium in between. Rich says, Herman, I'll try to listen to your tape from last night. There's an old term, tape. Wife had a birthday party, so needless to say, I was spending money. What's up, Dan? Victor says, pouring here, but the Cubs Sox game in danger. Yeah. And I think I know up here it's supposed to rain all day. John asks, what will you do with the commons? So basically what I'll do, the hits, I think all of my hits, which are autographs and color, those are all listed in my eBay store and sold. The other first Bowman chromes, those will go into my eBay store. The first Bowman papers will go into the eBay store. And then a lot of the quote unquote commons will go into my 25-cent boxes for card shows. Now, some of the, like, I don't know who's on the checklist that is like, I mean, there's going to be some players that are commons that I won't take the time to put in a 25-cent box. Those will just go into a random common box, and it'll go somewhere in the card room, or maybe down the road be bulked out. Travis, what's up? Just bought a Bowman 20 minutes ago from Walmart, and it was a dud. I should have got a few more boxes. They had like 20. Diversify. Yeah. So, and here's the thing. Now, I crushed the odds. And of course, I did buy 27 blasters. So you're going to have good odds the more you buy. But what I experienced, and I've seen others on social media say the same and tweet out the same, is their hits. If there's a hit, there's usually a second hit in a blaster. And then the other blasters have 0 hits. So Travis got a dud. The next box might have 2 hits. That's how it's been rolling. All of my chrome hits, I've received 2 hits. I think there was one blaster box where I pulled an atomic refractor, and that was it. But most of the other boxes, like when I pulled autos, and it's like, holy crap, I just pulled this and this in this, and then there may be a Wander Franco rookie card in the same blaster. It's like, this is a $200 blaster box. So yeah, some of them are great. Some of them are indeed duds. But the thing is, even like the lower end first Bowman chromes are selling for $2-3. So you pull a few of those, and you're a third of the way there, which is better than 5, 6, 7 years ago, when if you had a dud blaster box 10 years ago, like, it was like worth $3 in resale. Like, you couldn't sell the stuff unless you were quarter boxing and stuff like that. But like on eBay, let's just say eBay, you couldn't sell it back. Like, you could spend $20 on a blaster and make sell gross sales under $5. That's just not the case today. Yes, a blaster of this is $32, but your margin is going to be higher than what it was, a few years ago. Jenny said, I thought Bowman retail was Walmart only. That is Bowman Platinum. Bowman Platinum is a Walmart only. At one time it was. It might not be anymore, but at one time, yes, Bowman Platinum was Walmart exclusive. Now, Bowman Mega Boxes, now those are Target exclusive. So yeah, the retail game is wild, and it's going to be ever changing, I believe, here in the next few years with Fanatics. Herman said, so how many De La Cruz were pulled between mine and yours? I haven't gone back through and looked, because there were some blaster boxes I was just pulling the hits and setting those aside. I think I pulled 3 chrome De La Cruz. I also pulled a speckle refractor De La Cruz that sold almost right away. And then I pulled, it's no surprise, I don't have to hold it off until the end as a tease, but I pulled this yesterday, a yellow refractor auto of Ellie De La Cruz, who's probably the first or second best prospect in this product. So I had a great haul of Ellie De La Cruz, and then multiple papers as well. What's up, Mark Hoyle with us this morning? Good morning. This reminds me of a casino. Go to the quarter slots instead of the dollar slots. Current cards are glorified gambling, which I can't do, and also make me leery with P getting that itch. Smarter to just buy the cards you want. You don't need to worry about odds when you just buy. That is, and I love opening packs, but I don't really have a gambling mentality. Like I I can walk around a casino and not spend a dime. Actually, I take that back. I've got to have a beer in my hand, so I might spend a few bucks on a beer. 10. I haven't been to a casino in I don't know how long, so I don't even know how much beer are beers cheap in a casino or are they expensive. So I don't have that I don't have that itch to where I have to buy every product on a shelf. I want Bowman and I'll rip the crap out of Bowman, but there's other products that it's like, I don't need that. So, and I know other people don't have, everybody's different. So some people do have that itch where if they fall into and you see it like in breaking groups. And I've heard horror stories from friends of mine who run groups of people that get into trouble because they can't control their urge to continue breaking, and it's a terrible, horrible cycle. Fortunately, I haven't had that to me. So, Low Roller says, any big hits in Goodwill sports cards been lately? You've probably been on since my last Goodwill bin. Probably the biggest hit was that ticket, the Giannis home rookie home debut ticket. So that's probably the biggest hit in the most recent. Although it is coming up on the 1 month, they've been popping up about every month. So maybe here in the next week there might be another one popping up. I still have the bulk. My guy ghosted me. The classic Facebook Marketplace ghost was supposed to come up on Sunday and pick him up, and ghosted me. So I'm gonna have to take some pictures and post them on Facebook Marketplace. And this lot's way better than the last one. So I think I'm going to charge more. I mean, I would have gave him the same deal I did on the last one, but this one's better, so I'm going to charge more. So we'll see. Jenny said everyone had fair shot to buy 30 boxes online like you did. Oh, absolutely. And you were limited to 12 at a time. So I went in and used 2 emails to buy my boxes. And the thing is, if you look at the odds, they've printed the hell out of these. So you'll get your chance. I mean, when Herman and I went to Walmart, a hot product there's gonna be people chasing it, waiting for the vendors. And that wasn't the case with Bowman. Herman and I went, and there was probably at least a dozen boxes on the shelf, maybe right around a dozen. He bought 2, I bought 3, and there was still a bunch left. I thought about taking some more, but then it's like I still have like 15 at home that I need to open. So there's going to be plenty of Bowman on the shelves. Zach says, once again, John and I are moments away from our take. Not sure if that is good or bad for either of us. I won a 7-card lot of Japanese Menkos of a Hall of Fame player I collect. Very nice. Diego, what's up? John says, exclusive. That'll be going away. The only exclusives should be hobby shops having a 30-day head start on any new releases other than flagship. That's an interesting take. I like that. Scotty, what's up? Good morning, Scott. Low Roller says you can get free sodas in the casino. All you have to do is play a penny slot machine. Zach says absolutely. Some people can do it. Some people can't. For most, it's entertainment. That's great. Odds on Pack and the Rips was the biggest culture shock to me when I rejoined the hobby. Oh, most definitely. I'm incredibly compulsive, so I need roadblocks. As long as people are honest with themselves, they should enjoy the hobby as they see fit. Oh, very, very much so. Absolutely. Herman says we left some for the kids. So I showed off the biggest hit of the Bowman breaks. Ellie De La Cruz, yellow refractor, numbered to 75. Now, there's no comps. So I know it's like one of the most sought after prospect autographs in this product. So I put in my eBay store $2,500 price tag. Do I think it's worth that? Well, do I? No, I don't. Does somebody else? Probably not. It's probably a high price tag, but I don't want to take the chances of putting this on auction because there's a lot of idiot bidders on eBay. And I don't want to take the chance of putting this at auction for 1 or 3 days because then the buyer has 4 days to just drag his feet and not pay. And then Hobby's coming out this week. So I'm going to put it up because it's the first on the market and I'm just going to field offers. And I've only received 2, which makes me think it's priced a little too high. So maybe I'll drop that buy it now price. And maybe I'll get some better offers. Although the 2 offers I have are fairly solid. I'd like to get a little bit more. And I could also counter. So, but I have, a 24-hour cushion with both of these offers. So we shall see. So that I almost put it on a 24-hour or a 3-day auction, but I just thought it's that when eBay allows 4 days, I don't want to get into that trap. And there is an instant payment required. I had that on a previous, I think it was an Emmett Smith, like a $250 Emmett Smith card I pulled out of a bulk box. And I put instant payment required, and yet it didn't require instant payment for the buyer, and they ghosted me. So it's still in my eBay store. So I get a little leery on that. So Rich says in Choctaw Casino near the Texas border, if you know where to look, there's a soda machine and cups available, and you don't have to spend a dime in there. Very nice. Zach asks, how long ago did De La Cruz have a middle school class day picture, and should I get it graded? Most likely. Let's see. He was born in 2002. So he just turned 20. So he's a very young player in the Midwest League. So I've considered getting this graded. One of my dealers who owns a local card shop. I said one of my dealers for the upcoming Madison card show runs Nelson Cards in Stoughton, Wisconsin. He's actually mentioned in Breakout Cards video about the recent Pokemon stuff going on. I think they walked into his door. So I reached out to him. Michael's with us. What's up, Michael? He says, express the Ellie. That's what I'm thinking. So I did reach out to Brad and I'm like, hey, I pulled this today. Should I get it graded? And he's like, probably. And Michael says the same. What's up, Johnny Boy Cards? Good morning to you. Victor, the rookie card specialist. What is up? I owe you a return email. I apologize. I'll try to get back to you today. So sorry that I'm not getting back to you sooner. Jenny says, if you accept an offer, it's like an auction. People can take 4 days. And that's another thing. That's another thing. Now, I did put immediate payment required on the listing for this. Again, it didn't work the last time I did that. So we'll see. So yes, I'm fielding offers. And basically, if the right offer comes along, I'm going to take it. I may counter these offers. And if I don't get what I want here, maybe by tonight, I'll take it down to Brad and do an express to PSA. We'll see. So, Ellie De La Cruz, if you're just joining, this was pulled. I pulled this yesterday morning. It was in now people always say you see all of these banger autographs being pulled out of Bowman blasters, but how many blasters did they buy? So I pulled this. Full disclosure, this was in the 24th blaster box I opened. I opened 27 total. So I'm just being completely transparent with you. I didn't just go to Walmart and pick up one blaster and pull, this huge hit. I opened 27 total blasters. This was in blaster box number 24. So just want to make that clear. So what are the odds on that? Yellow chrome autos, the odds 1 in 1,826 packs. Those are long. And I opened 162 packs. Not to mention, not only that, but the odds are even longer that you pull arguably the best prospect auto to pull in 2022 Bowman in Ellie De La Cruz. So The yellow auto odds, 1 in 1,826 packs, and I opened 162 packs. John says only cost you 800. It actually cost me $910. My total spend, $910.95. But this will sell for more than that. It should. So I also pulled, so that was one. I also pulled 4 other Chrome autos. A couple have already been sold and shipped, but let's see. I pulled that one. There's a paper auto, another Chrome auto, and I think the other two. Oh, and I didn't bring in, so or wait, did I pull 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yes, I pulled 5 Chrome autos. So the Ellie De La Cruz, show it again. It's a beaut. Yellow Chrome auto. I pulled a Dayton Dooney. That's kind of a fun name to say, Dayton Dooney, and he's got a nice signature. Double D Dayton Dooney, first Chrome auto. I pulled Juan Carasuto, and this one has sold. I got to ship it today. I think it sold for $40. I pulled a Gavin Contacello of the Diamondbacks. That sold and shipped. I left it in the other room, but I pulled a Cubs auto, Chrome Pablo Aliendo, who has been making some progress in the top 30 prospect rankings, which is really cool to see because he's a really cool kid. And then I pulled a paper auto. Chrome autos are actually twice as easy to pull out of retail than paper, but it came at a 1-to-5 ratio in my pulls. So I pulled just one paper auto. Lucas Dunn, one paper auto to 5 Chrome autos. The Chrome auto odds, 1 in 81 packs. I was pulling Chrome autos every 32 packs out of my 27 blaster boxes. The paper odds, I think it was 1 in 121 packs. So Bowman crushed me on the paper odds, which, hey, I'm okay with that because it's paper auto and it's a sticker too. So where am I at here? Oh, I pulled a purple Ray Wave. Elijah Tatis. This is just a beautiful card. Purple Ray Wave, number to 250. These odds are 1 in 231 packs. So again, I opened 162 packs. So I beat the odds on that. Jenny says I should say with the eBay employees, obviously the card is real. Plus, he already sold one card for like $150 from these blasters. Damn, you would have fun with that double D name if you're DJC C-Day. Yeah, right. TD Sports Cards, what's up? Good morning to you. Jenny is right. Because of what you were selling that big card for, it will then have to go to CSG for verification. Yep, absolutely. So remember, your shipping is not to the customer, but to CSG. Northern Sports Cards. And I did that I sold the Mike Trout rookie. That was my first foray with the authentication guarantee, and it went swimmingly. So I had no problems with the authentication guarantee program whatsoever. It was very smooth. So no issues on either side in that one transaction that I've done for the guarantee. Northern Sports Cards, what's up? Good morning to you. Jenny said, oops, you missed my prior comment, or do you have concerns on eBay Authentic program? I think I did miss. Oh, there's Cooter. I missed Cooter also. Good morning to Cooter. Mrs. Cooter announced last night that I should go to the National so she could go to the Atlantic City casinos. That could be double trouble. I love it. Do you have any concerns about eBay's authenticity program for this card? No, I don't. Not whatsoever. I did use the authentic, as I mentioned. It went through the Mike Trout rookie that I pulled out of the Goodwill lot. It did go through the authentication program, and no issues. So, I've seen some. I know some people have had issues. I don't see any problems with this card whatsoever going through that program. I mean, ultimately on every transaction on eBay, especially with a card like this, is returns, and people. The thing with this card, if somebody, you can't they can't claim damage and open a return because it's got to go back through the authentication program, and so if they ding it, or if it's damaged on their end, this is why I actually love the authenticity guarantee program through eBay. Because if you send off a card and it's gem, and the person on the other side, the buyer, wants to play a switcheroo, or they damage the card, like pulling it out of the penny sleeve and drop it on the floor and ding a corner. And they're like, hey, the corner's dinged. They've got to send it back. And when they return it, it goes back to the authentication center before it goes back to the seller. And the authentication center says, hey, this card, when we saw this card, when the seller sent it, this damage wasn't here. We're going to dismiss this return. Sorry, buddy. So that's what I love about the authentication guarantee program, because if it's returned to the to CSG, and CSG inspects it and says, okay, yeah, you've got a case, or sorry, this was good when it was sent from the seller. This was damaged on your end. You've got to suck it up and take it. So I actually love the eBay authentication guarantee for those instances. So some other stuff that I pulled. I pulled a gold refractor, Alejandro Pa, and he's kind of a young guy too. He just turned 20. He's kind of, I saw like a Bowman prospect ranking list kind of broken down into tiers, and he was in like the lowest tier, but it's because there's not enough information. So he must have played in like the Instructs in the Dominican Republic before. I don't think he's played in the US yet. Sent to Florida Complex for 2021 US debut. So he just doesn't have, there's just not enough. I'll use tape for Rich and John. I'll use not enough tape on Alejandro Pa, but that's a gold refractor numbered to 50. Some of the other, I pulled a Brian De La Cruz, rookie blue, numbered to 150. Some other paper. I pulled this. I've got some decent offers on this that I think I'm going to take. It's in my eBay store for $20 or best offer. I've got a $15 offer that I'm likely going to accept today. Let's see. I pulled a fuchsia, chrome fuchsia, Misael Urbina of the Twins. Let's see. A couple of atomic refractors, top 100 prospects, Jordan Groshans and Matt Manning. Let's see. A green shimmer, Isaac Pacheco of the Detroit Tigers. These are numbered to 99. Green top 100 prospects, Shea Langoliers. No longer with the Atlanta Braves. He's with the Oakland A's now. I actually saw him at one of the minor league games at spring training when they played the Cubs on the backfield. Here's a green first of Ricardo Genovese. I think I pulled him in my very first blaster, and I had a hard time pronouncing his name. And then a yellow refractor of the Milwaukee Brewers, Hedbert Perez. So those were some of my big hits. Let's see. John says, let's make face-to-face transactions a thing again. We do so at the Madison Card Show. So come on out. May 28th, by the way, 150 tables at the Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive, Madison, Wisconsin. Across the street at our upcoming show, May 28th, Bratfest with live music on stage. So come out, buy some cards, and then go across the street, eat some brats, and listen to some live music at Bratfest over at the on the grounds of the Alliant Energy Center. So it's gonna be an awesome time. 150 tables, 3 ballrooms. It's gonna be a great show. I can't wait. I did confirm that showcase that I shared with the Babe Ruth autographs and the Jackie Robinson autographs and the Jordan rookie. They will be back. They will be back for the May 28th show. So his name's Eddie. His dad Phil was running the table at the show Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm excited for the May 28th show. So come on out, Madison, Wisconsin, and we'll make face-to-face transactions fun. Rich says, speaking of tape, I ID'd a cricket card at ComC yesterday from circa 1900, and the back says he's currently in South Africa in service, aka the Boer War. That's pretty cool. One of the great texts I've ever seen on a card. That's pretty cool. Dan asks, is Misael Urbina related to Ugith? I don't know. I might have to look that up today. Or Dan, if you have Google handy, Google that for us. Let's see. 40% of Queensryche is better than 0%, I suppose. Right? So my total take on 2022 Bowman so far. I've got myself a spreadsheet. Oops, and I think I closed that window. Uh, so my let's see where it is. Where it is. Where it is. 2022 Bowman hits. So some of the things I've sold already: the Juan Carasudo auto, $40. Gavin Canicello sold for 35. I pulled I didn't show it because I've already sold and shipped it. Ellie De La Cruz Speckle Refractor sold for $150. A Jackson Churio base refractor, number to 499, that sold for $25. I pulled some green papers that have sold: a purple paper Xander Bogaerts, a sky blue paper of Albert Pujols. Um, all of the Wander Franco cards that I've listed have sold. I've sold 6 Wander Franco base rookies for $62.50. I've sold 2 inserts for $15. Other cards that have sold totaled $193. So my gross sales to date on 2022 Bowman, $539.50. So that's my gross sales, not my net. But my total cost, I'm still in the red. I spent $910.95 on these blasters, and I've sold $539. So and actually it's not my net profit because I don't have my supplies and all that stuff figured out, but I'm down $371 plus my fees and shipping. So, but this card will more than make up for it, along with all the rest. I still have some Wander Francos to list. I think I pulled 12 Wander Francos out of 27 blasters. I still have a bunch left. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the chat. I missed a few. Zach says, listening to tween vendors negotiate hundreds of dollars worth of cards while we are waiting to make a dollar transaction for 4 cards was enlightening. Fun from the weekend. I'm still like, I've done 20 shows in the last year, and it's still like I see like 12-year-olds with like thousands of dollars in cards, and it's amazing. It's really cool to see. Herman says, I've got 3 big cards coming in this week. I'll have to do a video to share when they come in. Most definitely. Love that. By the way, Dylan Cease, Zach and Porter's guy, Dylan Cease, great outing yesterday for the White Sox. I had to break out my Dylan Cease binder, and I did something that I didn't want to do. No, I didn't list them on eBay. I pulled some of the hits out of the binder because I had like a printing plate. I had some first chrome refractor autos just in a binder. It's like, I should probably put these in top loader. So I pulled some of the bigger hits that I showed off. I did a video. It's just 60-second video on my part of my Dylan Cease collection. I've got some other stuff that's in behind me somewhere in a random box. So check that video out, my Dylan Cease collection. I was prospecting him back in 2015. So that's what you call the long game. And then I would have sold all this stuff a long time ago if I wasn't collecting Cubs cards. But I'm collecting Cubs cards, so I just keep them. But I am, if he continues to play this well, pitch this well, I think I've got like 2 chrome refractor autos. I've still got 3 or 4, maybe 5 base chrome autos. It's like, I don't need all these. I may, and I actually have sold a couple. I sold 2 Dylan Cease cards back when he was hot. When he was coming up to make his debut. I had a gold refractor auto that I sold. I saw one sold recently, and it actually sold for about what I sold it for 3-4 years ago. So not mad at that. But his chrome autos are actually selling for like at or above what they were a few years ago. So that's my Dylan Cease collection. So check that video out. 3B says, I've got, we just talked about, Cooter says, nothing makes Bo happier than building a spreadsheet. I do enjoy, I was making them like, ooh, let's build out a spreadsheet. Herman getting into the real cards, post your list of 72s you still need on Twitter, so you might even get a rack or 2. There you go. Can you write off the Braves you gave to Herman? Yeah, I should. I should. That's a great idea. Jenny says, I'm thinking of doing a video with my Sano cards. I saw what Bo did with his Cease collection. 11 Ks. Yeah, he had 11 strikeouts yesterday. That binder was unreal. That's part of my Dylan Cease. I think there's only a couple hundred first Bowmans of Dylan Cease. I have 600, maybe 700 first Bowman Dylan Cease cards, because I was buying lots of 100 for like 10 cents a card back in 2015, and I was just hoarding. And that was before I was collecting Cubs, like a million of them. I was just prospecting Dylan Cease. So eventually, when I sort, I think I've got a prospect box, and I'm sure there's more Dylan Cease in there. What's wrong with Sano this year? He's at 1/3 of his weight. I think he's hurt. Also, he's on the IR. Leo Chang says Urbino has a son Juan who pitched in the Mets organization, appearing in 3 seasons for short season Brooklyn. So must not be Masale Urbino. Leo Chang with the fact bomb. Zach says Bo is a good man. He gave P one of those Cease autos when we met. Dude is going to clean up. Rick Sutcliffe had a funny tweet. See, the Cubs can develop pitchers, right? And he did. He spent a lot of his time in the Cubs organization, because he was drafted in 2014. And when was he traded to the Sox? 2017 or 18? Victor says, I did see the funny tweet. Doing that right now. Also get my binder cards checked off so I can get that list to John. Sano doing no good this year. He was on my fantasy team, and then I dropped him because he was doing no good. What's up, DR? Good morning. Hope you have an awesome day. By the way, an update on what I touched on yesterday. I spilled the beans and gave all my secrets away of potentially going into buying a collection with another dealer that I actually had looked at about a month ago or so. We have an appointment tonight, 6 p.m. Me and John, not John's 70s card show, not John Newman, not John who sold Herman the He-Man packs, but another John. There's Johns everywhere. So John from Cards in the Attic in Evansville, Wisconsin. I didn't say that. I thought it was Evansville yesterday morning, but I didn't want to throw people off. Cards in the Attic. It's a card consignment shop in Evansville, Wisconsin, which is, I don't know, half an hour from Madison. So John and I, we each individually looked at this collection, a month ago, several weeks ago. And the collection in its entirety didn't fit either of us really. For him, because he's more of a vintage guy. He's kind of like that 70s card show. He loves those 70s cards. He loves the early 80s stuff. Whereas that's not really my wheelhouse. I kind of like the modern-ish cards. And when I say modern, I'm going to say going back to the 90s. I do. Don't get me wrong. I love 70s and 80s cards. But it's less of my niche than it's John's wheelhouse. Now it's certainly something I like as well, but it's not my wheelhouse. So for John, and there wasn't like a huge amount of it. It was actually a pretty diverse collection, surprisingly, because there was a good amount of 70s and 80s like rookies. Like I'm trying to think of just off the top. I know there was a Ricky Henderson rookie. I know there was a few Tony Dorsett rookies. I think there was an OJ Simpson rookie. There was some like stars of the 70s rookie cards. I'm sure there was George Brett, Robin Yount, those guys. So that's because you're young. And yeah, John's old, and John, who I'm viewing the collection with again, he's a little older. So and that's why it fits. The 90s is for John, that 70s card show, he was, his formative years, I think, were the 70s. So that's what he likes. And my formative years were the 90s. And that's kind of where I like. And I like the new stuff as well. So we talked on Saturday at the card show, and I said, hey, I looked at the collection, and John's like, yeah, what'd you think? So we were talking, and I'm like, it's an awesome collection, but it's too much. And when I say small dollar, what I mean is $20 to $50 cards. It was a bulk of $20 to $50 cards, which is not small, especially. And here I am saying that with a store full of $2 cards on eBay. But the price tag, there was so many of them, the price tag, and there were several $100 cards in there as well. So the price tag is just kind of out of, I still need to continue building capital, starting this business. So I didn't want to just throw a bunch of cash and have to work really hard to get to that break even point when I've got enough inventory sitting in my basement that's, bought and paid for essentially. So, uh, John's concerns was there was enough stuff he liked, but there was a lot of stuff he didn't want, the stuff that I want. And so he didn't want to put down that type of money on a bunch of stuff that doesn't really interest him for resale. And they don't really want to break it up. They want to sell it as one collection, which I totally understand. So we talked, and I mentioned this yesterday. If you didn't hear it, I'll just try to quickly share it. After I dropped Herman off on the airport, I'm driving home, and I'm thinking about that conversation with John about the collection. I came up with some ideas. Literally at a stoplight, I text him. I'm like, hey, I've got some great ideas. I'll text you back when I get home. And ran it by him. He loved the idea, which is we go in halvesies. And I said, this is the number that I think we should offer, but I think we need to see it again to make sure it's the right number. Because I really didn't spend a lot of time when I looked at it. I spent maybe an hour. And I think it really, with the sheer volume, and it's not like a million card collection either. It's, there's a lot there. But it's sheer volume of, $50 cards, which add up. So I said, here's the idea. And we split it. We each set aside, we attach some dollar figures on the cards. I know you want the vintage stuff. There's some more modern stuff that I want. We set aside a top 20 or a top 25 of our essentially keepers. Just kind of play it like a fantasy baseball draft. And you have your keepers, I have my keepers. What's left over goes into a draft. And it just we flip a coin, and you get first pick, you take this card, I get the next pick, so on and so forth. And using my StreamYard skills, we stream this draft live and direct from Cards in the Attic consignment in Evansville, Wisconsin. We've got the logos for each of our businesses. We've got our links to the eBay store, to his store, and we do this draft live on YouTube through StreamYard. He loved the idea. He's like, let's line up a time to look at it, because then we start. What do you think the actual resale value is? So I threw out some numbers. He threw out what his thoughts were. I'm like, okay, we definitely need to take pen and paper or fingers and iPhone, and together look at this and discuss while we're looking through the cards. If that number we came up with is going to be a good number. So 6:00 tonight, we're going to do that. So I'm going to put out a short video. If you're watching this video now, it's probably going to rehash the exact same thing, but you can watch it anyway. And then I'll post another video of the decision after 6 p.m. tonight. So, I'll take some pictures, show off some of what I do have some pictures from what it is. So I'll share those as well. So I'm looking forward to and very nice, such nice people. They want their dining room back. All of this stuff is set up in their dining room, and it takes up a lot of the space in there. So looking forward. 31 in the chat. Very cool. 34. I think 34 might be a record. I think 32 was a previous record. 34. If you're coming to see the hits, this is if you're here for 2022 Bowman, Ellie De La Cruz, Crush the Odds. That's 1 in 1,826 packs. Pulled it. I opened, by the way, I didn't open just one blaster. I opened 27. So it's not like I just went to Walmart, bought a blaster, and pulled a gigantic hit. Paul Carl Cards, what's up? Good morning to you. ATX Treasure Chest, I think I owe you a response. Did you send me a DM? I think so. By the way, if anybody watching has emailed me or sent me a DM and I haven't responded, circle back to me, because I get lost in some of those and have a hard time keeping up. So I do apologize. I think I saw some questions you had through DM. And yes, you even say it in chat. I hate to ask again, but can you link the video for the file transfer? Absolutely. I will put that link in the chat right now. By the way, as I say this, there are some changes. How to so I type in how to bulk list on eBay, and at least on my computer it shows up, but that's probably because I wrote the article and it just shows up in my cookies or whatever. Let's see, here we go. So here's the link, file exchange tutorial. So this file exchange tutorial is a little outdated. The template slightly outdated. I do say that the graded column currently in the template that's on this link says not professionally graded. That needs to be changed to just no, or if it is graded, yes. So no or yes in that column instead of not professionally graded. And then of course there's some other things like how to get to the file exchange within eBay has slightly changed. I think even the category. So I do at some point, I just haven't found the time or made the time to update that article. But that should be a good start. If you have questions, let me know. For those that care about sports history, there's a soccer jersey about to go to auction with an estimated price of over $5 million. Holy cow. Know about a random team of a jumbo 2022 box break, hoping to get lucky. Very nice. Good luck with that. Dan says, slam that like button. Yeah, do that. Slam the like button. Zach says, my formative years are consumed with Eric Davis, Carlton Fisk, TPX bats, and the baseball bunch. Let's see. Pippin, there you go. But was 90,000 emails. That's actually not far from the exact number. My email is what just sold for. I just sold something Greg Jeffries and it came up. It must have been an international buyer because it says Greg Jeffries sold for $16.90. So my 77,345 is my email inbox. So not far off from 90,000. Let's see. Rich says, my formative years were the end of Mantle, Aaron Clemente, and Mays' careers. Bo's The Decision video will be better than LeBron's. I actually saw some of them play live and in person. That would have been great. And I hear so many because my wife's family grew up in Pittsburgh. My wife's grandfather actually owned the demolition company that tore down Forbes Field. And at one time there was some relics left over from, what he kept. And, it's, they say it's long gone. It probably went in a garage sale or something. And then her other grandfather was telling me stories about, he goes back to the 30s, in talking about like the cable cars and, he got a ride from, I think it was Paul Wayner. So my wife's grandfather, huge sports fan, went to all the Pittsburgh sporting events, and so they would get autographed. And this was back in the 30s, early 30s. And so him and his friend, and they were probably, let's see, he passed away so actually this is probably the late 20s. He and his friend were getting autographs, and they missed, I think it was the cable car in Pittsburgh. They missed the cable car. And Paul Wayner, this is how times have changed. Of course, this is 100 years ago, nearly 100 years ago. Paul Wayner gave them a ride. They got their autograph. Can you imagine getting Mike Trout's autograph and missing the train? And, hey, Mike, can you give me a ride home? And Mike Trout gives you a ride home. So that's how times were in the early 20th century. So told that story. That was probably one of my favorite stories that he shared. Back to the Squirrel Hill neighborhood, if you're familiar with Pittsburgh. And I think, what's the pizza place that Minio's? My father-in-law loved Minio's. And I never came around. I think he was disappointed that I didn't like Minio's pizza. John says, my formative years were the height of the Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley era. There you go. 14 of 34 in the room with a like button. That's just a shade over 40%. We can do better. Thanks, Rich. Damn, I thought I had too many approaching 8K in the box. Bo is my new hero. My formative years were jamming to Wilson Phillips and Milli Vanilli. I kid. I don't. I'll admit I loved Milli Vanilli and New Kids on the Block when I was 10 years old. Those were my jams. But I also, like, not long after I got into Metallica, like, I had an older cousin who was very influential on me in terms of music. And that was, as the grunge era was taking off. So I got into, first it was Metallica. I didn't like he was into the heavy stuff like Megadeth and Slayer and some of that stuff. And that just didn't, but I loved Metallica. Then Nirvana. I can still remember going to Co-op Tapes and Records in Moline and seeing the Nirvana release of Smells Like Teen Spirit. So those were my formative years. Paul says, my only sports story is I went to a barbecue at Dale Earnhardt's mom's house in like 2009. That's awesome. That is really cool. Jenny's got to head out. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it. Not related to any of this chat, but I just got and accepted a LinkedIn Connect from an Australian sports hobby podcast. Is it one of one? I also received, I'm connected with somebody from Australia, and I think it's called One of One. And they're from Australia. And I'm not sure if it's a podcast or a card shop, though. Let's see. International man of intrigue, Rich Klein. Squirrel Hill has my favorite breakfast point, Pamela's. Yeah, I have not heard of Pamela's. I'll have to ask my wife if she's familiar. Rich says, Gene Simmons' real last name is Klein, if I recall. So at least one of us made something of ourselves. Milli Vanilli was so much better than Metallica. So are New Kids on the Block. I've got to go with Metallica on that. It's actually deeper than that, Rich. And I'm probably pronouncing this wrong because it's likely a Hebrew name. Is it Chaim? Or is it? I would, growing up in rural small town Illinois, would call it Chamwitz, but I'm sure it's probably Chaim. That's his name. He was born under in Israel. Double Coverage was their LinkedIn name. Okay, I have not heard of Double Coverage. Zach is out. Have a great day. You as well. Rich says I nailed it. So yeah, that's the plan. Well done on the Chaim. So thank you for tuning in today and allowing me to show off my 2022 Bowman hits. So now I'll be shipping and listing tonight, 6 p.m. I'll be heading over to meet up with John and look at that collection. I will provide a preview video, and then I'll do a post-view video after the viewing of the collection. So that's the plan. So tune in for those videos. Also, I uploaded the Dylan Cease collection video yesterday. It's just a short watch, 60 seconds long, showing off my Dylan Cease binder and some of the hits inside. Cooter's formative years were spent switching from TBS to WGN to watch Keith Moreland drop a routine fly ball. Love it. Well, at least I can have some smiles before going to the dentist. There you go. Am I the only one here that likes bluegrass? Probably. I actually went to a bluegrass. We had a bluegrass festival, and I think it's an annual bluegrass festival at one of the downtown music venues here in Madison. I have a friend who's really big into bluegrass, and so our wives went to see some show. Might have been Wicked or something like that. So my buddy Brad's like, let's go to this bluegrass festival. And it was actually very entertaining. So I wouldn't say I love it. I enjoyed my time. And it wasn't, I'm actually my music taste is very eclectic. I like pretty much all of it. So there's not much music that I don't like. Pretty sure Milli Vanilli can lip sync better. Mazel tov. Let's see. Shalom, yes, is such a great word. It means hello, goodbye, and peace. Bluegrass techno exists. Now that would be intriguing. Boise State bluegrass. There you go. So have a great day. It's Tuesday. I'm glad I said it's Tuesday because that reminds me. I always forget. Don't forget Hobby Hotline tonight. And I did listen back to the John Newman and John Keating were on Hobby Hotline on Saturday. Great stuff. And actually, they were talking about card show apps. I have a good friend who develops apps and works for an app developing company. So I wanted to do some crowdsourcing based on that conversation. And asked Twitter last night, what are some features that you would like to see in a card show app? I had a great conversation with my friend last night. I threw out those ideas to him. He said it's definitely doable. It's expensive, but I think I can make it work. So later this week, he's going to be sharing some. He actually shared part of an event app that he did recently. It's no longer live, but he's gonna get me in on some. He's gonna get me linked up with like the back end of one of the apps, so I can kind of play around and see what it would all entail. So everything that was suggested on most everything, I should say the most common comments for what people would want in an app is definitely doable. I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. So I'm excited to potentially get something off the ground with this. So we're gonna chat. So he's gonna link me up later this week with that. Thank you, Herman, and then play around with it. And then we're gonna do a Zoom and talk a little more about it. So it might not be something that gets off the ground. John said your mute didn't work. It didn't. Well, shoot. I wonder if it picked up my computer microphone. I wonder if this microphone is even working. That's interesting. If my mute didn't work, I don't think the words that I'm saying are coming through this microphone that I'm talking into. That's a bit concerning. So anyway, so I'll keep you posted on what we discuss with the app this week. So John says they need a pinch hitter. You should go on tonight. They do need a third host. I won't be available because I'm looking at that collection tonight. So I don't know. I don't want to commit to that and not be available. So because I'm going over there at 6. It's a half an hour drive. Probably going to spend more than 90 minutes there. So I will not be able to make it back. So unfortunately, I cannot fill in. Jason had to bail out. Let's see. Victor says, so you guys have a great day. You as well. I'm going to go. We're an hour in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Hit that like button. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. The collection video coming later today. And then tonight, I'll let you know how that went. Hobby Hotline, 8 p.m. Central with Mike Moynihan and Yam Wax and a question mark, a third host still to be announced. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.